Hey Mud Runners, welcome back for another episode. Today we're going to be talking about some scuba stuff. More specifically, lobster season is about to start here in California. So we're going to be talking about all the gear that will make diving at night and diving for lobsters that much easier. So let's get started. First off, the most important thing that you have is when you're taking game that you have the proper license. Here in California, there is the regular fishing license, and then you have to get the ocean enhancement stamp, as well as, or depending upon what it is a lobster sticker. You want to make sure that you have the proper license for that. So that's really, really important. They will fishing game will be out in the water, on the beach. And so if you don't have a proper license, you can get in severe trouble, big fines. So make sure that you have the proper license. Second, you want to make sure that you have the proper size lobster. And so you need a gauge to size your lobster. And we'll talk about gauges in a second. Obviously, diving at night, lobsters are nocturnal animals, so they come out mainly at night. You want to make sure that you have the proper lighting with you. So let's get started with the lights. First off, you want a primary light and you want some sort of backup light. Your primary light is what you're going to be using to light the area. And so I have this fairly large light. I won't shine it directly in the camera because it might blind you. But you can see it's actually a pretty bright light. It's got a large surface area, and they make all sorts of different lumens for different lights. This one here is the D8 or the UK 1200. I've had it for years and years and years and years. I have to put new batteries in it, but other than that, it's still going strong. They make all sorts of really cool HID lights, xenon lights, all sorts of different price ranges. So you just want to get a primary large light that can shed a lot of light on where you're looking. Second, backup light. I use this light here for when I'm day diving and I'm looking in holes, things like that. But this also makes a great backup light, and it just clips onto me. I have a little clip here, clips onto my BCD, and in case my primary fails underwater, I have a backup. The next light is I have a marker light. I attach this one that has a battery in it, and I attach it to my tank so that when I'm diving, my buddies can see me. Or you can use these chem sticks, you know, the break 'em, shake 'em lights. These I just attach onto the back of my tank, and that way it's a marker light so that you can see. Some lights you can get that flash. It depends on what you want. So that's basically your lights. This here also is a backup light. I keep this on my regulator so that I have an additional light in case something fails. It's a backup light. You want a bag so that you can stick your lobsters in it. And what I do is I have my lobster gauge on my light so that when I'm holding my lobster, I can size my lobster with the light. I don't have to need that third arm. And then if I didn't have the gauge there, I leave an additional gauge on my bag. So right before I put my lobster in my bag, I can make sure that the lobster is the correct size. And to size your lobster, you can go online. Fishing Game has a great picture. I don't have a lobster here to show you, but it's the carapace between the horns and the main part of the upper torso. And I believe it's 3 3/4 or 3 1/4, but you can get the correct size. Just make sure that your lobster gauge is the correct size. This bag here is canvas. And then mesh down at the bottom so that the water can drain when I come out of the water, but it's mesh at the top so that the spiny lobster doesn't get stuck on the mesh. They make some bags that you squeeze and they open up automatically. Those are really cool too as well. But this one here, stick it in the bag and then make sure that you close it up. And make sure that if you have more than one lobster in there, make sure that your lobsters are all down at the bottom. Otherwise, if you open up the bag, they might swim out. So there you go. So that is the gauge, the bag, and the lights for lobster season. Make sure that you look at the correct date before you go lobster diving, and make sure that you have your license. It's really, really important. And that's basically it for today. I hope that if you do go out for opening night that you catch your limits and you enjoy them, whether it's diving, whether it's making costumes, whatever it is, make sure you go out and find your passion And please subscribe to the channel, please share the videos, and please click on the ads. It helps me out a lot. Take care, have a great